Chosen one, do not scroll. Stop, right here, right now. You were not meant to pass this by. Your thumb was already moving, and something stopped it. That was not you. That was me. I have been watching you, not for a day, not for a week, for longer than you have known how to pray. And today I am speaking to the one person who thought no one noticed what they did. You said something to someone. You may not even remember the moment clearly. It might have been a sentence, a handful of words. Maybe you told a stranger their idea was good. Maybe you told them not to give up. Maybe you said, "You can do this," and then you walked away and forgot it by dinner. Heaven did not forget it. Heaven recorded it, and what those words set into motion, what they unlocked in the unseen, is the reason this video found you today. Before I go further, I need you to do one thing. Comment 777 below. Not as a trend, not as a ritual. 7 is the number of completion in my hand, and 3 sevens is completion sealed, witnessed, and finished. And the moment you type it, you are placing your agreement on the record that you receive what has already been decided over your life. Agreement is the doorway. Type it, and the door swings. Now listen closely, because what I am about to tell you is not a theory. It is a report. There is a moment in your recent past. I know the day. I know the light in the room. I know whether you were tired when you said it, where you chose to speak life instead of staying silent. Someone told you about a dream, a small one, maybe, a shop they wanted to open, a song they were writing, a degree they were afraid they were too old to start, a business idea they had said out loud to almost no one because the last time they said it, someone laughed. And you did not laugh. You said something kind. You said something believing. You handed a stranger a piece of hope that cost you nothing and meant everything. You thought it was a small thing. Chosen one, it was not a small thing. It was one of the loudest sounds heaven heard that day. I want you to understand something about words, because most people never do. Words are not decoration. Words are not noise. I created everything you have ever seen with words. Light did not exist until it was spoken. Order did not exist until it was called. The pattern of all creation is this: it is spoken, and then it becomes. So when you speak over a person, you are not making conversation. You are participating in creation. That is why what you did matters so much more than you understood. Most people go their entire lives being told what they cannot do. They collect those sentences like stones in a coat and then wonder why they cannot swim. Every "that's not realistic," every "who do you think you are," every silence where support should have been, those became weight, and then you came along, and you took one stone out of the coat. You will never know exactly what that did, but I do. And later in this message, I am going to tell you what happened after you walked away. The chain of events you never saw, the thing that moved in a life you will probably never meet again. Stay with me, because when you understand what your words triggered, you will understand why your own miracle has now been sealed. But first, hear this, because you need it more than you admit. You have been the one encouraging. You have been the one holding others up. You have been the strong voice in rooms where you yourself were exhausted. And there have been nights where you wondered quietly, when someone tells my heart what I keep telling everyone else's. Tonight is that night. This message is that voice. You did not stumble here. There is no such thing as stumbling in my kingdom. Out of all the videos, all the sounds, all the endless scroll of noise designed to steal your attention, this one caught you. That was arranged. Long before you picked up your phone today, this was already scheduled. Chosen one, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Now let me explain how the unseen world works, because this is where it becomes beautiful. When you speak encouragement into a person, 3 things happen at once. The first thing happens in them. Something loosens. A door in their spirit that had been swollen shut gets pushed open half an inch. Sometimes that is all a soul needs. Half an inch of daylight. The second thing happens in the atmosphere. Discouragement is not simply a mood. There are forces that feed on it, that circle a person's dream, the way vultures circle something dying, waiting for the last breath of belief to leave. When you speak faith over someone, you break the circle. You scatter it. You put a shield around something fragile that was minutes away from being abandoned forever. And the third thing happens above. It is written down. Chosen one, there are records kept in my house, not of your failures, You have been told that lie for far too long. There are records kept of every kindness that was never repaid, every gift given in secret, every word spoken to lift someone who could do nothing for you in return. And do you know which entries are marked differently? The ones where the giver had nothing left to give and gave anyway. The ones where you encouraged someone else's dream during a season when your own dream had not moved an inch. That is the entry I am pointing to right now. That is the one that has been sealed. Take a breath, chosen one. What comes next is going to change how you see the last few months of your life. If this is already reaching the part of you that has been quiet lately, do something for me. Like this video and subscribe. Not because a number matters to me. Nothing you can click adds to me. But because when you like and subscribe, you are telling the algorithm to carry this voice to the next weary person who needs it. And you become the reason a stranger hears they are not forgotten tonight. You already proved you will speak life to someone you have never met. Do it again. One click. One more soul reached. Now, let me tell you what happened after you walked away. The person you encouraged did not tell you this. They may not have known how to. But they went home that day different. Not transformed. That comes later. Different. They repeated your words in their head while they washed dishes. They said them out loud in the car once, testing whether they could believe them. And there was a decision waiting for them. A decision they had already almost made in the wrong direction. They were going to quit. I will not tell you which quiet quitting it was. Some quits are loud. Most are not. Most look like simply not opening the file again, not making the call, letting the idea drift to the bottom of the drawer where dreams go to become regrets. Your words got there first, by hours, chosen one, in some cases by minutes. And because they did not quit, they made a choice. And because they made that choice, they met someone. And because they met that someone, something began that is still unfolding right now. Today, while you sit there scrolling and wondering if your life means anything, you started a chain you cannot see the end of. And I want you to hear this carefully, because it is the law of my kingdom, and it cannot be reversed. Whatever you set in motion for another, I set in motion for you. You cannot pour hope into a life and stay dry. It is not possible. The universe I built does not work that way. Which brings me to what has been happening in your own file. Do not move. This next part is for you specifically. There has been a delay in your life. I know you have noticed. Something you asked for. The door, the answer, the change, the person, the provision, has been sitting in a place where you could almost see it but never touch it. And you have been polite about it. You have said all the right things. But in the honest hours, you have wondered whether you were skipped. You were not skipped. You were being watched, not with suspicion, with interest. Because there is a test. And it is not the test people think it is. The test is not whether you can endure. You proved that a long time ago. The test is what you do with your voice when you have every reason to be bitter. A bitter person cannot encourage a stranger's dream. It costs them too much. When your own dream has gone quiet, watching someone else's dream be born is one of the hardest things a human heart can do without flinching. You did not flinch. You cheered. Chosen one. Do you understand how rare that is? Do you understand that in that one moment, you demonstrated something I can build an entire future on? I do not entrust great things to people who cannot celebrate others. I cannot. Blessing a person who resents the blessing of others is like pouring water into a cracked jar. It empties them and it damages what is around them. But you showed me a jar that holds, so the seal was applied. I want to be precise with you, because you are not a child and you do not need vague comfort. Something was finalized, not proposed, not considered, finalized. What has been circling your life at a distance has been given permission to land. And that permission was not earned by your striving. It was released by your kindness. Sit with that. Everything you tried to force did not move it. One sentence spoken to a stranger did. That is how my kingdom works, and it will keep surprising you for the rest of your life. Now, I know what is rising in you. The question you are afraid to ask. When? Chosen one, hold that. I will speak to timing before this message ends, and I will speak to it plainly. But first, there is something you need to understand about the nature of what has been sealed, or you will misidentify it when it arrives. Because here is what happens to people who do not listen this far. their miracle arrives disguised, and they argue with it. It comes as an unexpected message, a strange invitation, a door opening in a direction they did not apply for, a person reappearing, a small opportunity that looks too small to be the answer. Chosen one, when you planted your seed, you planted it in a stranger. So do not be surprised when your harvest walks in wearing a stranger's face. The one who lifts you may be someone you have never met, someone who has no reason to help you, someone who will simply feel, inexplicably, that they should say something to you, do something for you, open something to you. They will not know why. I will know why. It is because of what you said that day to someone who could not repay you. Do not despise the small arrival. Almost every enormous thing in your life began as something you nearly ignored. Now let me speak to the part of you that still doubts you are the one this is for. You are thinking, maybe this is generic. Maybe this is for everyone. Chosen one, I know the specific sentence. I know whether you said it in a doorway, or a comment section, or a break room, or a checkout line. I know that you almost did not say it. I know there was a half second where you considered keeping it to yourself because it might be awkward, because they might think it's strange, because you are not usually the one who speaks first. And you said it anyway. That half second is why this message exists, because in that half second, you chose to be brave on behalf of someone else's hope. There is no such thing as a small courage. There is only courage, and I count all of it. Do not scroll away now, because I am about to give you the 3 things that were released, the moment that record was sealed. And the third one is the one that changes your next 30 days. The first is protection over what you carry, whatever you have been quietly building. Even if it is only an idea, even if it is only a hope you have never spoken out loud, a covering has been placed over it. It will not be stolen. It will not be taken by someone louder or faster. What was assigned to you cannot be delivered to another address. The second is favor with strangers. Understand the symmetry. You gave to someone you did not know, so I have marked your face for people who do not know you. There will be moments ahead where a decision goes your way and no one can explain it. A yes you did not qualify for. A discount, a break, a recommendation, a door held open. That is not luck. That is a receipt. And the third, the one I want you to carry out of this message like a lit candle. The third is that your own voice has been amplified. Chosen one, you used your words to build someone else, so I have increased the weight of your words. What you speak now will land differently, over your family, over your work, over your own body when you are tired, over your future when it feels far away. You have been given a heavier tongue. Use it carefully and use it generously, because the same mouth that lifted a stranger can now lift you. Start tonight. Say it out loud. It is not too late for me. I am not behind. What I have been asking for is coming. Say it even if your voice shakes, especially if it shakes. Now, timing. I promised you plainly. Watch the next several days and watch them differently, not anxiously, attentively. You are going to notice a pattern, a repeated word, a name that comes up twice, a conversation that echoes something you prayed about privately. Do not dismiss it as coincidence. Coincidence is simply the word people use when they have not yet learned to read my handwriting. Something is going to be handed back to you, something you gave away without expecting return. And when it happens, you are going to remember this exact moment. You, holding your phone, half believing, half hoping, and you are going to know that you were told first. Chosen one, hear my conclusion. You spoke encouragement to someone who could do nothing for you. Heaven recorded it, because words of hope given freely are among the most sacred things a human being can do with a mouth. That single act broke a circle of discouragement around another life, started a chain still moving today, and revealed to me a heart that can hold blessing without spilling it on others' failures. As a result, what was pending in your file was sealed. Protection over what you carry, favor with strangers, and weight added to your own voice. You are not waiting for a verdict anymore. The verdict came in. You are not on the outside of something. You are on my path, and the road ahead of you is already built. Every stone of it laid before you took your first breath. So here is the question I leave burning in you tonight. If a few words spoken to a stranger could seal a miracle you did not know you were earning, what happens the next time you open your mouth? Do not stop speaking life. You have just learned what it actually does. Come back tomorrow, because there is a second half to this. There is a specific instruction about what to do when the first sign appears. And if you receive it wrong, you will delay what has already been released. I will speak that next. Be here for it. Before you go, comment 777 to seal your agreement. Like this video and subscribe, so this voice reaches the next person who is one sentence away from quitting. And if this message met you where you were tonight and you want to help carry it further, you can support these videos by leaving a tip at the link in the pinned comment. Every bit of it puts this message in front of another weary heart who needs to hear that they were seen. You were seen today, chosen one. You always were. Now go and watch what comes back to you.